Okie I think we're safe to start now. So thank you everyone for joining today for the Community Impact Award workshop. Looking forward to doing this today. So just a couple of introductions slash housekeeping. So my name is Emily Conley. I am the Grants and Communications Coordinator at CFSEA. And you may recognize Sydney, who's actually on maternity leave, and she was the previous grants and communications coordinator. So she'll be coming back. Also on the call, I have Helen Nicholson, and she is our regional development coordinator. She works for any of the rural communities, excluding Brooks and District. So that would be anywhere in Prairie Crocus, Cypress County, and the County of 40 Mile. Nicole, who is not on the call today, she serves Brooks and District and is the Fund Development Coordinator there. And then also joining the call, we have Camelia Lawrence, who's on camera, and she is our Foundation Services Coordinator. She is brand new to the role. I think she started, 1 month ago, and she's been doing fantastic. You guys may have recognized Rianne. And Rianne has also gone on maternity leave, so best wishes to her. And then, so before we get started, just to let everybody know that this recording is being, this presentation is being recorded, and that's just for anyone that is unable to attend today. Lastly, I wanted to just say that the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta honors and acknowledges that we are situated on Treaty 7 and Treaty 4 territories. So we honor and acknowledge that we are on the homelands of the Métis Nation within Region 3 as well. Let's get started. Oh, last note, we will be doing a Q&A session at the end. So I ask that if you have any questions going forward, you just pop them in the chat, and then I will get to at the end of the session. Perfect. Okay, so just a quick overview of the agenda. So we're going to go over just CFSEA in general, the Community Foundation of Southeastern Alberta, our funding priorities, about the Community Impact Award, any eligibility and criteria, the application process, and grant writing tips. And then afterwards, we're going to have the Q&A time. Okay. So about the foundation. So CFSEA, it's a charitable organization with 3 main purposes. So we grow, we give, and we inspire. So we grow by engaging donors with causes they are passionate about to build permanent endowments. We give by distributing investment earnings to a broad range of community initiatives, including the Community Impact Award. And then we inspire by connecting issues, convening partners, and developing community-based solutions. So the Community Impact Award aligns with the We Inspire and Give pillars and is actually overseen by our Community Leadership Committee, which might be changing. We might be doing an ad hoc committee this time around. But the purpose of this committee, or the ad hoc committee that'll be viewing the applications, is to enhance the foundation's ability and capacity to provide community leadership in Southeastern Alberta in order to provide a more vibrant and resilient community, which is sustainable well into the future. A little bit about us. So our funding priorities, if you've ever applied to the community grants, if you've ever applied to community grants, I should say, then these should be pretty straightforward, but I'll go over them just in case somebody has not on the call. So the Community Impact Award requires that your project fit in within one or more of our priority areas. So our granting priorities are shaped by local data and community insights, ensuring that donor funding supports solutions that address the region's most significant challenges. So this information supports evidence-based, locally relevant solutions that improve both quality of life, inspire civic engagement, focus public discussion, and help residents, businesses, and community organizations and local leaders direct resources on where they have the greatest impact. So Those would be our first ones, which are just like an overview, which is basic needs. That includes food, housing, health, work and economy, connection and belonging. And then at the bottom there, you'll see healthcare access, housing availability, and social isolation. So those are actually our rural granting priorities, and they were informed by our Rural Futures Regional Development and Conversations in Southeastern Alberta, which is a report and is available on our website if you are interested in checking it out. And that explores the urgent priorities and opportunities identified by non-urban communities in our region. As we know, Medicine Hat is very different than somewhere in like Oyen or Dutchess, for example. So each community has its own different different challenges, and so we wanted to create a report and create additional priorities that encompass that. So applicants or rural community area funds are encouraged to submit projects that address the unique challenges facing Cypress County, the County of Newell, special areas number 2, 3, and 4, and the MD of Acadia, and the County of 40 Mile. Next, I just want to quickly talk about equity, diversity, and inclusion. So we want to always integrate an equity-based lens through the entire granting process. So we actually have a list of accommodations that may support you, the grant writer. So for anyone that has trouble with technology or things like that, we do have an online granting portal, but we will do like one-on-one instructions, and we do oral practices too. So that would be like an oral presentation just in case you have troubles submitting your application online or through the computer. So we just ask that if you require one of these accommodations, just to please get in touch with one of our staff members, including me or Helen, and we can set that up with you. And then we're always happy to help too with one-on-one instructions at any part of your application. So that could be just a quick phone call and asking, hey, what would be the best to put in here, or am I doing this correctly? We're always happy to answer any questions, and no questions are silly. From a grant writing perspective, grant writing can be challenging, and we we'll definitely take that initiative to help in whatever way we can to make your application as successful as possible. Include this quote just before we get started on the Community Impact Award itself. So the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. And that's from Tony Robbins. I feel like that is a great segue into our Community Impact Award. So for those who are new to the Community Impact Award and what it does, so the Impact Award is designed for agencies with innovative projects that show creativity and leadership. I'm going to include a guide in our chat as well. Sorry, the guidelines in our chat here. Just to review and everything. It's a helpful link, and it's also on our page on our website under Community Impact Award. So registered charities with any game-changing ideas who have the potential to create positive and lasting change in our region are encouraged to apply for this $35,000 Community Impact Award. This is actually the second year that the amount increased to $35,000, and it used to be $25,000. And then I would just encourage you to give me a call and come in and discuss your idea before you get started. I can help support you to strengthen your application. We do this for anyone that asks, and then anyone in the ones that I mentioned. So that would be the County of Newell. That would be Nicole that you would reach out to. You could reach out to me as well, or the County of 40 Mile, Cypress County, Prairie Crocus. That would be Helen. So they understand the unique needs a little bit more. So, but I'm always happy to help too. before I I'll go back quickly. Just one thing that I want to highlight. Usually it's supporting projects that go beyond the routine annual program. So something a little bit more imaginative, I would say, than your typical community grant. So for any like annual programs that you have, it would be kind of like a new idea. It wouldn't be something that would be a continued program that you already have. It'd be like, hey, I have this crazy idea, or this this idea that this $35,000 would really change something in our community in southeastern Alberta as a whole. And if you have questions about that, feel free to leave them in the chat. Okay, so eligibility and criteria. So the Community Impact Award will support projects a request submitted by registered charities who have an impact across southeastern Alberta. So if you have an idea that aligns with one of our priority areas, we definitely invite you to apply. We also encourage anyone that has projects that foster cooperative, collaborative, and innovative approaches to the challenges facing our community will be prioritized. And the criteria is how we evaluate applications, or less than me and Helen would evaluate, but more so the ad hoc committee that will be evaluating. So your best chance of success is to really go through and think of your answers kind of before applying. But yeah, our priority areas which we went over. So does your project address one or more of the funding priorities community need? How does your project address an identifiable community need or opportunity? Is it innovative? So is your project new and creative? Does it offer collaboration? So do you have a partner that you could potentially work with? So sustainability, does your application show evidence of sustainability? An example of this would be how are you going to use that $35,000 and continue on with the program? So if you're a qualified donee as well, so we have to follow by Canadian Revenue Agency CRA guidelines. So any applicants must be either a registered charity, municipality, or school division. If you are not one of those, that is okay too. The only thing that we ask is that you complete it would be an affiliate form. And so you will have to partner essentially with a qualified donee. And then impacts. So what kind of impact will your project have across southeastern Alberta or in your region specifically? Okay, so just the application process itself is pretty straightforward. So we review eligibility, and that would be, or I guess you would review the eligibility. So does your project align with the mentioned criteria? So anything that I mentioned before on the previous slide, does it align with that? Then step one would be the application. So unlike our previous one, so that would be the community grants application. Usually you complete an LOI, aka a letter of intent, just so that we know what the project is for. This one you don't. You would just submit the application itself. And then step two would be actually the presentation. And so that is in front of us. It would be in front of Helen, myself, the grants committee, and Nikki, who is our executive director. So up to 4 finalists will be asked to submit any further information, including financials, and a short presentation, which is usually about 10 to 15 minutes, with about 5 minutes for questions from our committee. So the timeline for this would be, for the application itself, would be February 6th at 4:30. So you have a month to complete the application. Presentations, we don't have a set date on yet, but it will likely be at the end of February. And then the announcements will be at the end of March. I see that I have 2025 on there, but it is 2026. And then the applicant. So yeah, we have a check granting event that will be hosted at the recipient's site. So that would be your head office, or anywhere really. That would be up to you to decide to launch the project in the spring. And then you have an opportunity to present on the impact at the following year's presentation. So you have 18 months to spend the funds, finish the project, and complete the final report. Okay, so on to some grant writing tips. So one of the biggest things is definitely simplify, simplify, simplify. You only have a very limited space to be able to write in our online grants portal, and so we recommend just using bullet form. It doesn't need to be super detailed. If we require any extra information, we will ask. Um, Another one that I recommend is using numbers to showcase impact. So, how many people will be impacted? How many events per year will, if it's a capital project for equipment, how many events per year will use this equipment? How many people will use the equipment or the space, for example? Um, even even I would say like even numbers on our reports, for example. So for our rural impact report or our rural futures report, sorry, we say like a lot of things like, oh, X, Y, and Z. This is what's being impacted on healthcare. If you use that evidence in your application, it's definitely a bonus point for our committee members for sure that are reviewing the applications. Highlighting any partnerships that you have. So we're looking for community partnerships to integrate with our funding partners. It's even better if they can write you a letter of support. We do have an area in there where you can upload letters of support, and that can be from any organization that you've partnered with in the past, any people that have like maybe used your program or would like to see this idea go forward. And then just refer to the guidelines document. It really is the holy grail of, an excellent reference guide for what we want to see in the application. And then if you're not sure or want to clarify something or just want to talk through it, you can just simply call us. We're a great resource and we're always here to help. Okay, I want to talk about our previous recipients, and that can give you like a really great idea on what we're looking for and what kind of projects that we've funded in the past. So last year was the Kickstand Center, specifically the kitchen, which was an application from McMahon South Region as their operating kickstand. So the funds were directed towards developing the Community Foundation kitchen, and it's a space not only for meals, but for building connection, building confidence, and community. So Kickstand Medicine Hat is already creating a really meaningful difference by reducing barriers and stigma and by ensuring young people can access the right support at the right time. It kind of exemplifies what the Community Impact Award represents, which is investing in innovative collaborative solutions that create lasting change across southeastern Alberta. And it was a pretty significant gap that we did not have in southeastern Alberta or Medicine Hat. So we actually had a board member, his name is Dan Kammerer, and he said, when our foundation awarded this grant, it was because we saw the innovation in this model. Kickstand provides wraparound services, all in one accessible space, filling a significant gap in our community. We know that when youth are supported, whole communities are strengthened. From 2024, we had from neighborhood associations. So that's actually a collaboration with the City of Medicine Hat. And they connect neighbors to create a sense of belonging. So with funding, they established 5 active neighborhood associations with 5 to 6 more in development as of December of last year, I guess, so 2025. In collaboration with the City of Medicine Hat, they launched the Shape Your City page and purchased and wrapped a community trailer and created a lending library for neighborhood events. Additionally, they developed standardized templates, a neighborhood association's planning toolkit, and a guide for 50 new ways to connect with your neighbors. So they've actually engaged with just under 5,000 Medicine Hat residents so far, which is really impressive. And then lastly, we have the Market Food Money Program, which is from 2023, and that is in Brooks. So with the support from this grant, the Brooks Farmers Market launched its Market Food Money Voucher Program, and it's an initiative designed to address food insecurity while strengthening local farms and building community connection. The market has served over 2,000 individuals and their family with 43 participating market vendors since 2023 when it launched. It put nutritious food directly in the hands of vulnerable families, and one partner agency shared that it had the best uptake of any program they had ever participated in. The market also navigated language barriers with patience and collaboration, creating a more inclusive environment for newcomer residents and longstanding vendors alike. So 2 years after its launch, the success of Market Food Money has inspired actually other farmers markets to adopting the program, which is a really remarkable ripple effect for the region. And then I have a past list of recipients that I'll just pop in the chat if you want to learn more about other ones that we've funded since 2019. All right. I'm a little bit early, actually, 5 minutes early. But I wanted, to mention that we're also opening our community grants application on February 4th, and we'll be hosting a live grant workshop just like this one. So if you're listening to this presentation and aren't sure if your project is a fit for this one or for the community grants one coming up on February 4th, it would just feel free to give us a call, or maybe you're in this call right now and you're like, oh, I'm not sure if it would be a fit for the Community Impact Award. It might be better suited for the Community Grants Program. So you can kind of refer to our website and just the grants guidelines in general, but please know that there is another option. And then agencies can apply for both grants, but they have to be for different projects. So if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with me again. And I will pop in the chat our community grants link as well if you want to learn a little bit more. So my contact is listed on the screen, and I've also included our rural area contact information. So Helen, which would be 40 Mile Prairie, Crocus, Cypress County, and Nicole for Brooks and District, they both have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to their areas, whereas I might not. So they're great resources. So that is it. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat, and I'm more than happy to answer them.